Yeah, he is. Our major session is on Thursday, so those blokes that are very close in weight, Walker and Robertson will be tested, and Simpson's got the all clear, which is great. So we've just got to get him through that final session to see if he's up and ready to go. Oh, well, even just watching the Northern Blues last weekend to see him patrolling that forward line and the way he moves, and it just gives you a lot of hope because he's such an influential player, on the team and the way they go about it. It just helps us, I suppose, become more potent up forward. And he's a terrific player, and we've got to get him out there. So far, so good. So Thursday will be the big test for us. We'll go through and make sure that he's right, and then we'll sit down and make the decision. Should he play? Does he need another one? Those types of things. So, yep. He has said he'd love to just play AFL straight up, but I don't think it'd be smart to do that, and that's why we didn't. So, 10 weeks out of the game, it's such a tough game as it is. The difference between bringing, say, a weight back versus a Murphy and Carrazzo is they didn't have the lower limb injuries, or they could run still. So that was really important to make sure that, when he came back in, he could play at a good tempo and a good pace and not break down again. Murphy and Carrazzo could achieve that, where weight was a big ask. So he played VFL. So his mood's been really good. He's been up and about. I think the initial bit was what's going on, trying to work out the back. The movement wasn't there, and now it's freed up and he feels great. Yeah, that's probably the debate, if they're right to go or not right to go. I think we'll need to, I suppose, cross that bridge when we get there. Walker, and the players that we're talking about, they haven't missed any football. Robertson and Walker haven't missed a lot of football, so their fitness is right. We don't have to worry. It's more just if the injury is still there and there's a big risk. We won't take the risk, but they're pushing to get up and play. Yeah, he got the all clear, so he'll go through, I suppose, a lot more physicality at training on Thursday in regards to his injury and how he feels and all that. But he's feeling fine. He's put his hand up to play. All he has to do is just tick that box and he'll play. He's got the all clear from the surgeon. It's more about his own confidence, really. That's the only hurdle that we've got to pass and probably just bring some bags in. And he hasn't had any sort of high contact, you could say, and we've sort of avoided that. So as soon as we've got this part of it with the surgeon to say it's okay to, if he does get a knock around the head, now we can move on. Oh, I think you're spot on there. I think every time you play Sydney, every year they're in the finals. Their record and what they've done as a football club has just been outstanding. And their form this year, just they do it again. Somehow they just seem to find a way, and their form has been, from an outsider looking in, been outstanding. Whether they've travelled or they've done it at home, or it doesn't matter. And I think it's a great challenge for us because of the way they play and how competitive and combative it will be. It'll be a great challenge for our group. Yeah, it's interesting. I think if you look at probably the three form teams of the competition at the moment are probably the Swans, Hawthorn, and probably the Kangaroos have been the one in the last from the break that have really jumped up. So they're probably the three form teams of the competition. Not saying the other teams aren't, but just the way they're playing and the way they're getting the results done. So, yeah, they're one that we'll have to be right on top of our game, and it'll be a great test for our younger players, especially the Bells and these players that have jumped up the last couple of weeks. Robbie will play this week. Not sure whether he'll play AFL, but that'll be something that we talk about. Cruz has pulled up really well. He's sort of overcome that hip and that, so he's going well. Yeah, I think you even speak about the tide might be turning a little bit, and now players are starting to come back, which is great. Murphy's form, and now he's sort of had 3 or 4 weeks back from the Kangaroos game, or 3 weeks back. This will be 4 this week. Judd's not far away to come back, so Waite's close. It's starting to turn a little bit for us. White's had 3 weeks back at VFL level, so now his fitness is up to speed at AFL level. So some of the players that were sort of behind the scenes that we've used a fair bit in the previous years are starting to get back and play as well. So that's been a real bonus for us. Oh yeah, I suppose the biggest thing from coaching point of view is about the process and how we go about it. And win, lose or draw, we've got some things in place that we need to adhere to, and that will give us great opportunity to win games of football. And that's been, I suppose, the biggest thing that's been inconsistent in the season is sometimes we've hit the KPIs and sometimes we've really fluctuated. And when you do fluctuate, you have a massive result on, it has a massive bearing on the result. And from our point of view, that's been something that we've tried to make sure, especially from the break, when you get to review and see how we go as a team across the competition, we've made sure that we've made it very simple for the players so we can adhere to that. And that's given us a chance. I didn't watch it.
Have you spoken to him throughout the week? Has any of the players spoken to him? A lot of people came out in support of him being so open and honest.
The players weren't in yesterday, so no one's seen Brock until this morning. I've been in a meeting till 5 minutes ago, and we've got training at 10. So, yeah, I haven't spoken to him yet. Well, the AFL does their investigations and goes through and they have a look at it. So. They've investigated Melbourne, they've investigated us. Personally, as a coach, I got investigated twice in regards to this. So I've gone through that procedure, and the AFL have ticked it off. So they've done their findings behind the scenes, and everything's clear. So they've done that. So whether that's up to them. Well, if the AFL want to speak to anyone at any time, they've got the right to. So. That's up to them, and they're the chief of the game, you could say, and they can call on any person at any time. So that's their call, and they'll speak to Brock, and Brock will speak to them. So well, they interview you for a reason, whether it's a rumour or something there, or someone said something. I didn't find it offensive at all. They've got a role to play in the game, and they do that, and I think they do a very good job. So if you have to be interviewed or investigated, they must find that there's something to, dig a bit deeper, and that's why they do it. So from my point of view, I think they do a good job. And if they want to ask anyone at any time, they should have that power. There's no doubt about that. If he's gone down a path that the AFL think that he needs to be investigated, yes, he'll have to answer to them, and Adrian or Andrew will chat to him somewhere along the line. So that will happen pretty soon, I dare say, because they'll try and work out what's going on. But Brock will have to talk to them and work out what's going on.